The generation options page is where you control all aspects of the generation functions. The generative process is organized into 5 broad categories: rhythm, level, pitch, time, and sound. You can run a generation process within these individual categories via their respective generation buttons. Pressing the large Generate button is like clicking all 5 category buttons at the same time. Throughout the interface, you will find a number of small Generate buttons. These create a new arrangement of settings for individual parameters according to the ranges set within the Generation Options page. Controls and parameters that are never modified by any of the generation processes include effects, controls in the sounds area, and any other performance options like scale, pitch bend, input quantize, velocity to volume, etc. Many of the options and their ranges are straightforward or will be covered in the dot matrix video. So for now, I'll just go over some of the unique settings as well as provide a few usage tips and examples. In the rhythm generation column, you have options to include or exclude dotted and triplet values that fall within your range of minimum and maximum step length settings. We typically exclude triplet values because, unless purposefully placed, they can make rhythms somewhat unstable. However, creating settings to only use triplets can be quite useful and musical. Percentage of active steps determines how busy or full the pattern will be. A low setting will place few steps into the pattern. A high setting, like 100%, will fill the pattern completely. Percentage of gate utilizes the volume grid. With the setting up, it will place some volume steps at 0 to create a gate effect. In the pitch generation column, deviate from root is an important setting. It controls the percentage of active steps that will have a pitch other than 0 applied during the generation process. For example, if a pattern uses 20 active steps and deviate from root is set to 50%, then the pitch of 10 filled steps will be set to 0, while the other 10 will use pitches above or below 0, in accordance with the ranges set in minimum and maximum step pitch. My experience is that a setting of around 40% is a good starting place. If you are generating riffs that are coming out with too much or not enough pitch movement, deviate from root is the setting to adjust. Changing these to yes will allow some steps to be converted from a root note to 12 and -12 or octaves, despite the settings here. In the time generation column, I'll point out the minimum and maximum step duration settings. These affect the duration part of the sequencer grid. The sound generation category allows you to control how many sound types you want in your riff. These correspond to the menus in the sounds area, and also to the dots in the sounds row. The minimum and maximum sound range refers to the sample sets in the sound menus. The softest sounds are in the lowest ranges, gradually getting more harmonically rich and aggressive as you get deeper.